Oh, no, this isn't one of my six angels that appears to me. I wish it was, but she's not. She has all her clothes on. Okay, so you have a very special program today. Sir David the Bard, I'm coming to you out of Salt Lake City. The kangaroos just flew me in here, and the airport was clear, thank God, and we put down. So I have a friend here. Well, she's not that much of a friend because her husband's right there. So he's been hired over Alpha and Omega. Those two people had no idea how to do lighting. And Mike, he's good. He's very good at lighting. She's traveled from the middle of the United States, and right now they have snow down there that is just unbelievable for their part of the country. They're not used to that much snow. But anyway, her first name is Mickey. No, it's not. Jesus. I'm lying. Her first name is Allison. And Allison and Mike have been just not candidates. They've been patrons of my video. Patrons.
If that's what you want to call it.
Anyway, they come to Salt Lake City and they're always looking for a free room and somebody's couch to sit on. You know me, I'm out for everybody. So anyway, she's sweet as can be, and she's the only person that has ever agreed.
That's surprising.
No, it's the first person. I've invited everybody.
And I don't even live in state. I mean, it took us, hours by flight to get here. So I'm really surprised that someone that lives nearby
wouldn't come and defend their church.
Would not do a video with the Bard.
Yeah, well. And the gun to the head at the back here, that doesn't have anything to do with what she's saying. She's coming from the heart. So anyway, I've told you many times, the Mormons see not very far out of the bubble. They see reflections of themselves inside this bubble. Well, Allison here is studying religion, and she'll tell you a little bit about it. And I want the Mormons to know how the real world sees them. So I'm going to just ask her a few questions. First of all, Allison, you've mentioned before that you haven't seen very many people that are brown or black in Utah, have you?
No. We came up about 5 months ago, which was the first time to Utah. And I think last time, including this time so far, I've seen less than 10. People that were anything other than white and delightsome.
White and delightsome?
It's just very strange because I'm from the South. Obviously, there's a higher population of African Americans there, but it's just very white, and everyone dresses, for the most part, extremely. I call it preppy, but extremely well groomed, pretty package.
Okay, so the wrapping...
Does that make sense?
It does. The wrapping on the paper, the present, looks good. It looks interesting, it's clean, it's short haircuts, no tattoos, no crosses like you're wearing, and not that I noticed it, but anyway, you're basically saying it's a white and delightsome state, and it appears that they either don't want blacks here, or brown people, or that the black and the brown don't want to be here. Now, let me ask you this. You went over to DI today, Desert Industries, okay?
Yes.
And now tell the truth. Is the Bard lying about phones and clocks and shit that doesn't work?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Can I?
You go.
Okay. There was the clock section, and we know the Bard has a thing with clocks and telephones. I had to stand in between him and the clocks. Did I not?
You
I
did.
went like
you did.
this.
You saved me.
There was one that was really pretty, and it was gold and black. It was flashy, and it was catching his eye, but it was broken. And the other one was a timer, and it didn't have the time dial on it that you turn. And I don't know why you would sell something without it. I don't know. It would just, and the whole time it just went.
See, my other clocks don't make any noises. The one that's supposed to chime, it doesn't. So I thought this one might be the one for me.
But
anyway.
he's telling the truth. It's like it was funny.
Okay, so you've seen Desert Industries. Okay. Now, you were over there and somebody accosted you. Accosted means talk to you and ask you about your religion. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I can. I didn't think it was strange when it happened, but when I walked out, I thought, that's kind of strange. I was checking out, and he asked me where I was from because I have a very southern accent, and I told him Tennessee, and he said, "Are you LDS?" And he looked at me and then looked at my cross because Mormons don't wear crosses. I mean, all the ones I know, and I know a lot. Maybe there's some of you out there that wear crosses. I don't know. I think so. And I said no, and he said, "Oh, okay, okay. Well, this is the main DI that's operational, and a lot of our leaders live around here, and so instead of having garage sales, they just donate to DI." And I said, "Oh, and so it's like a process. So it's like, it goes back. It's like a filter. I don't know if I didn't say the word filter, but like, using it through the church, that kind of thing." And he said, "No, they just donate it and they come buy it here because they just come buy it here." And it didn't make any sense at all. I mean, it was just so. It doesn't make. I'm trying to explain it, and I'm an educated person.
Okay.
Well,
now, what you're saying is that the products were donated.
Because he made a point to tell me that they do not have garage sales in this part
of the world
of Utah.
Right.
And that there are wealthier people in this part. They do not have yard sales. They give it to DI for the purpose of giving it. And I said, "Oh, to the church." And he said, no, to Deseret Industries, so people can come in and buy it. But I thought, well, isn't that the same thing as a garage sale? But anyway, I just said, I thank you very much, thank you. And he was a nice man. It was just, it wasn't until I got into the car and I thought, I don't think I have had anyone look at me and look at my cross and say, "Are you LDS?" It's kind of
forward.
It is forward, and I'm a pretty open person, so it was odd.
Okay, now I think you told me, and tell the audience here, you have an appointment with a very important person. I couldn't even get an appointment with her because I don't want one. But anyway, she's a wonderful lady. Tell the audience who you're going to have an appointment with.
Sandra Tanner.
And who is this Sandra Tanner?
You say Sandra, don't you?
I was married to Sandra. I try to forget.
I think it's Sandra. I think that's how she would probably prefer it.
Sandra?
Sandra, tomato, tomato.
Okay.
Well, she and her husband, she's a great-granddaughter of Brigham Young.
Okay. Most of the people
I mean,
in this
I don't know.
state
What do you
are.
want me to, I think everyone that's watching knows who Sandra Tanner is. So I did not, I just asked if I could come shake her hand.
Allison, there's 212 countries.
Well, you can Google it.
And 100 languages.
You can Wikipedia.
Tell them who Sandra Tanner is. Just a brief history.
Okay, well, was it back in the 70s that her and her husband...
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, back in the 70s, her and her husband, Gerald, did a... I don't know, ministry would be the word. They did not believe the church was true, and they worked out of their house, just doing copies and that kind of thing of certain factual information. Really upset a lot of people, and I think single-handedly, I would say thousands of people have left the church. Now I'm a Christian. He's an atheist, but we agree to disagree and respect each other on that. What I appreciate from Sandra is that she gives the credit to God. She said, that the Lord just works through her, and that I am stuttering right now, sorry, that the Lord put the stuff in her and Gerald's lap pretty much, and it just happened. You could say whatever you want to say about that, but I think it's pretty cool.
Well, they were one of the first families that left the church.
I mean, thousands of people they've
influenced.
yes,
Yeah.
with the truth. With
And
the truth.
so you're going to see her. What are you going to ask her?
I'm going to ask her about the Danites.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to ask her about the Danites and the committee to strengthen the members. What's the latest that she has been a victim of, or that she has known? Like, she might have had someone email, call, or come in yesterday, today, or last month with something really interesting that's happened to them, because it still exists.
So, for our viewers
exist.
that don't know, the Danites are the secret police of the church, or the president of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and they exist, a lot of retired FBI and CIA agents, and they spy on the members of the church. And the old Danites used to kill people, so that's why I breathe hard when I do these. I don't know if they're going to shoot through the window or what. But anyway, the Danites were the police, and they killed for Joseph Smith, and they also killed for Brigham Young. And what was the other one? The Danites and the committee to strengthen. Those are the spies of the Mormon Church. They watch all of the videos. They watch all of the movies. They watch all of the internet, the newspaper. And if they see any good member of the church saying anything bad about the church, they call their bishop, and the person is excommunicated. So, Allison, you're interested in knowing what kind of persecution Sandra has had.
Yes. I mean, I've read some stuff that's happened to her, but I just wanted to know, like, what was the latest that's happened, or the last few things. They may be leaving her alone now. I don't know, but I know that she will have some information on people that are leaving the church or are in the church now, and have issues with that. So.
Okay. Now, from the outside in Tennessee, have you heard of Joseph Smith?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give us, here in Utah, someone from the outside, what do you know of Joseph Smith? The man?
Well, okay, I've been studying, I'm a sociologist of religious studies, so I study many different religions, but Mormonism I've studied since 2002, so I know quite a lot about Joseph Smith, that he was, a crook.
Beep, beep, YouTube, beep, beep. Crawler.
Had an appetite.
Crook, Joseph Smith together, the Mormon crawler.
Had an appetite for little girls and their teddy bears.
Oh God!
I'm not. That's
Cuff
sad.
me, take me away,
no,
Mormon.
It's sad. I'm making a joke about it, because you have to joke about it sometimes.
Because it is so sad.
He was probably the greatest con man, wouldn't you say?
Close to it.
Close to it.
He certainly had charisma. He was certainly able to talk a lot of people into a lot of things. Angels and plates and.
We were watching the Book of Mormon children's series that was on old school VHS. I'm sure a lot of you guys out there know what I'm talking about. I think it's like, honey, how many videotapes is that? 25 or something? Okay, well, we didn't even get past 5 because it was boring. And it was really interesting. This is off the side. This goes along with the point, kind of. We noticed that the good characters in the Book of Mormon miniseries that were cartoons had the same chin as Joseph Smith, and my husband noticed that. And nose. What else did you? Hair. It looked like an animated Joseph Smith.
Are you saying subliminal?
Very interesting. And I swear to you, the person that comes on the very beginning of the video and tells you it is not nice to copy, Heavenly Father does not like it when we steal. I swear it's the same voice that's in the temple that New Name Noah did. The same overhead, overall speaker. It was weird.
Okay.
Okay, I'm off that now.
All right.
But
Brigham
about
Young.
Joseph Smith, that's weird. That's creepy weird.
Okay. Brigham Young. What's your knowledge of Brigham Young and opinion?
Ruthless leader, mean, horny, and busy.
Okay. Now, you've noticed over the years that the black people, until 1978, were not allowed to be members, or not allowed to be full members and full fellowship, having the priesthood and going to the temple, etc., until 1978. From the outside, do you think that that was Jesus telling all the Mormon prophets to keep those people out of the temple?
Well, I mean, I think if you read the essays, the church has finally come out and said, "Oh, you know, we got that wrong." Turns out Brigham Young was really a racist. It was the sign of the times, that kind of thing. But no, I think, well, Joseph Smith, I did a paper on this, and he gave the priesthood to a black gentleman.
He did?
Yeah. So it must have been Brigham Young that nixed that.
True.
And it's just so sad. That's so sad.
Joseph Smith had a black maid, and she asked if she could be a member of the church, and Joseph said, yes, you can go to heaven, but you're going as a servant. So Joseph had some feelings about it too, I guess. Okay, now let's take a look at the gay situation. That's Jonathan. The gay situation. What is, from the outside, what does the Mormon church look like concerning the gay marriage situation?
Well, I'm from Nashville, so I come from a pretty conservative state. So I can't say anything. All I read is the same-sex attraction issue, and I've heard from some, peers of mine, is laughable because if you, the SSA, so if you're sexually attracted to a man and you're a man, as long as you don't act on it, it's okay, but you can think about it and it's not going to count against you. It's very, very, very strange. The gay marriage issue, I haven't really heard anybody talking about it, to be honest with you. I think when I don't know.
Well, I think the official doctrine of the Mormon Church right now is that if you're gay, you can get married, and you can basically be in full fellowship with the church, but you're not allowed to have any kind of sexual encounters with your husband or wife.
But can I say something?
You bet.
As someone, this is what I don't understand. I'm sure most of you out there have already thought about this. If you believe in God, you've probably thought about this. I don't understand how I don't understand how not acting on it and thinking about it are two different things, because God knows what I think. The Lord knows what, if I'm thinking something really mean about David, that is considered the same sin as, say, if I just smack him across the face. I mean, if I'm thinking the same thing, I'm thinking I'm going to smack him, and then I'm going to smack him, I don't understand that, because thinking it and desiring to do that is just as sinful, let's say, as actually smacking him. So I don't, does that make sense?
It does. There's a principle in the Bible that says if a man thinketh,
right,
that what he wants to think, so is he in his heart, he might as well have done it if he looks upon a woman and wants to be involved. So, yeah, that does. Okay, well, you've studied a lot about the Mormon Church. You know a lot about the Mormon Church. If the missionaries came to your house, what kind of a reception would they get there in Tennessee at your house?
They would be very warmly welcome. I have a big heart for missionaries. So if they came to my door knocking, I would invite them in and probably make no bones about the fact, you know, I might show them my book collection. I think that would probably halt any further reading. But I would give them water and be nice to them, because most of them are young kids and they're just doing what they think is right and what they should do for most of them. For some of them, they're doing what they really want to do. So.
Now, you've been down on Temple Square?
Yes, last time. We haven't been down there this visit.
Okay, and you went into the visitor center?
Both visitor centers.
Okay, can you give us a synopsis or a critique of your feelings or what you saw? In fact, I think the first time you came, you met somebody. Yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah. Well, it was in the church museum, the Church History Museum, which I believe they are now closing, or they've got it closed for a year while they redo it. And it was fascinating because I wanted to see the replica of the golden plates. What's odd to me is something that you would base your religion on, something so important as the golden plates. The replica is on, I believe it was on the second or third floor, and it was in the very back of the building. And we had to actually ask, excuse me, but is this the place where you can see the life-size replica? Oh yes, come with me. I mean, it was next to the Liahona.
Was there a Liahona?
There was. And
I've never seen a Liahona.
And the woman was so kind, sweetest lady. It was very troubling to me that something that the Mormon Church places such significant importance on, there's not even any mock of it anywhere in the building. You have to go to the third floor and the last thing in the corner, the last section in the corner, and it's not even, you have to go around the corner to see it. When the woman was showing us this, she explained part of it that was sealed because it hadn't been revealed yet, and she was explaining the Liahona, which is good to get a refresher because I had forgotten about that, to be honest with you. What is really strange is that she told me and my husband and I, that she was her great-grandfather friends with? Her great-grandfather was friends with Porter Rockwell. And she told me his name. And I'm going to be honest with you, I do not remember the man's name because I was so shocked that she mentioned Porter Rockwell. And I said, oh, Mike, what else did she say? Did she bring up the word first? And I said, oh, Porter Rockwell. Yeah, I said something about the committee to strengthen the youth. And she said...
The members.
The members. Yeah, sorry, all this terminology. And she said, yes, the Danites.
Are you saying that she actually verified with her own words and her own background and experience that there is such a organization as the Danites? Sometimes
when you're by yourself, things go in one ear and out the other. If it's something that's really interesting you, or you're on a different wavelength. I was like, did she say Danite? Mike looked at me. Mike, that's my husband. He's like, yes, she just said that her great-grandfather was pretty much a
Danite. Okay.
And I did not know that was that big of a deal until we later met up with David, and he said to even get someone to say that word that's in the church, and that is admitting to be related, is a big deal.
Right. It's a secret. Oh, it's sacred. You've learned well.
But I think she probably felt comfortable. Even though I don't agree with it, you know, I'm respectful of that. And she saw my cross on, and I'm sure she knew that, you know, there was no point in. She was just going to be honest, and I don't know. I was fascinated by that.
Okay, well, let's see if we can wrap it up a little bit in summary of all your experiences now coming to Utah. Can you give us an idea of what may be the most interesting thing that you've discovered about the Mormons that maybe you didn't know, or that you thought was different, the thing that you walk away as a tourist from Salt Lake City, what are you going to take with you? What memories, what concepts, what...
I'm going to take memories of you, David.
Let me get my belly button out to get there. See
we
there,
just ate. That means it's bigger than it was a couple hours ago.
These girls that watch me, 70% of the people watch me are men, 30% are women, and I just saw a statistic the other day that said that 30% of the people who use pornography are women. So I'm falling right in line there with the women. So anyway, my question is, what are you going to take back to Tennessee that will kind of be with you the rest of your life, your impression of Mormonism?
There are so many wonderful people here that smile a lot and look happy. They're walking the walk, they're talking the talk, but their eyes, I don't know, it's said that women can be a little bit more intuitive, but their eyes say everything.
Tells a different story?
Yeah, I see a lot of sadness in the women's eyes. Not all, but a lot of sadness in the eyes.
Okay. Do you think you would ever come back to Utah
Yes.
again?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you feel like you've been treated fairly among the Mormons?
Yeah, I do. I think if I wasn't wearing this cross necklace, then I would probably be able to be a little bit more. Yeah, I would be a little bit more comfortable. But the sociologist in me likes to wear it to see what people will do. They do stare, which is strange. And I feel like I'm making a big deal about the cross, but you understand. If you watch New Caribou, you understand what I'm saying. So, but the people are wonderful. They're in a cult, and they've been sold a counterfeit version of Christianity, and it's just really, it's very sad. It's very, very sad.
Okay, well, folks, you can see that I'll invite anybody on my show. The standard is very low. She's so cute. Anna, she got on first. So, you're number 2. You're number 2 now. You're not number 1 anymore.
And I'm the VP.
the vice principal president. How
Can
is
we do the tokens?
Yeah, I'll tell you what we can do. I don't know if my camera...
Okay, we'll pay Lael out of here then.
Okay.
I put you on the spot, didn't I?
No, I was thinking how I could angle the camera. I could hold you like you were at the veil, like I was a veil at the 6 points of fellowship.
That's for when the camera turns off.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't. The Bard don't lie. Okay, so let's do the true order of prayer. That is where all the women take their what do you call that thing, veil, and they put it down so you can't see their face, kind of a little bit like Arabia. And you take your...
I have to say something real fast.
Go ahead.
I was listening to a podcast, John Larson, the other day, and they said that with the final thing they do with a temple holding, member and all this stuff, when they bury them in their attire, that they cover the woman's face.
Right.
And John said something that was really hilarious. He said, that's the final fuck you to the woman. I thought that was hilarious.
Well, it's possible.
It is
possible.
When you said the veil, because that's you're going out in eternity being buried with a veil over your face. That's just...
Now, I mentioned once a long time ago, there is a list of sick people in a book, and it's on the temple altar. And people who are Mormons can put the names in the temple, and they put them in the book. And so they put them on the altar during the endowment sessions, and the man playing God says these people are sick, and we're going to pray for them. And so you stand in the circle, and basically you take your partner by this, she's on my left, you intertwine your little fingers, and then you put your finger.
And you would be on the other side of me, right?
No, I would be to the right of you. I would be to the right of you.
Do you say what is wanted?
I do if I'm at the veil.
Will you say what is wanted?
These women. Mike, take her home. I don't care if there's no landing. Just take her home. The ladies and the men, they go, because you're at the veil and I'm behind the curtain. No one can see me. Okay, and so the temple worker goes, they knock 3 times, and they have this little hammer. It's kind of cool. It's a Mormon hammer, I guess. A mallet is what it is. And then I will part the veil just a little bit so you can peek. It's not a secret, but it's sacred. I peek and I say, what is wanted? And then the temple worker will say, Julia Mackinbush is here for on behalf of Julia Smith and wants to speak to the Lord. And I'll say, okay, then present her at the veil. Now, I haven't done this for like 10 years, so I may be just a little bit off here and there. And so I reach through the veil, and I put the bottom of my thumb on her knuckle, and I will say, what is that? Now, if she knows what that is.
The first token?
Right. Hey, she's got first token of the Aaronic priesthood. And then I'll say, has it a name? And she will say, yes. And then she'll use her, I believe, her first name, which would be Allison. Now, let's say she's going through the temple for, Julia. So that would be it there. And then I would let go like this, and then I would
take my hand back from the veil, and then I would put. Or are you just going to still hold on?
I'm still going to kind of hold on to it so I can control it a little bit. Then I always like working the women's side, you know that. And so then I put my thumb in between her first and second knuckle, and I'll say, what is that? And you would say the
second token of the Melchizedek.
The Aaronic priesthood.
Okay, Aaronic.
And has it a name? It has. Will you give it to me? I will, through the veil, and that is the new name that they gave you, Julia, that she's going through the temple for. And then the next sign or token is
and I just leave my hand like that.
Yeah, you leave your hand like that, and then I pinch her hand on one side and then the other, and I will say, what is that?
That's creepy, by the way, right? No. I'm being
You can't
serious.
say that is creepy.
No,
They don't say
that
that.
is odd feeling, and I can only imagine the young people and older people that have gone through for the first time and have to do this, because I just can't imagine.
Okay, I think
weird.
this is symbolic of the supposed Savior
It
being
is,
nailed
that's
on
why
the cross.
it's creepy.
Okay, it's creepy. So anyway, I'll say, what is that? And she'll say the first token of the Melchizedek priesthood. And I'll say, has it a name? And she'll say,
it has.
It has. I said, will you give it to me through the veil? And the name of that one is the Son, meaning the Son of God. And then I let go of her, and then I hold her hand, and then I take her in the patriarchal grip, and the sure sign of the nail.
You're kidding. Both hands you would do, or do I?
No, I'm just moving your finger up there.
Okay.
And I would say, what is that? And she would say, the second token of the Melchizedek priesthood. Said, has it a name? And she says,
it has.
It has. And I'll say, will you give it to me through the veil? Or she'll say, through the veil. Or I'll say, through the veil. And she says, I cannot, for I have not yet received it. For this purpose, I've come to speak with the Lord through the veil.
Converse with the Lord? Converse with the Lord?
Converse, well, you might be right. And so now I do what used to be, that this has been done away with in the last few years because the women didn't like it. And I loved it, But anyway, inside of foot to inside of foot, knee to knee, breast to breast, and hand to back and mouth to ear. Now the curtain is between us, but it's not much more than a bed sheet. So anyway, so I'll hold her for a few seconds and I'll say, this is the name of the token. Health and enable, marrow on the bones, strength and loins and sinews, power and priesthood be upon me, and upon my posterity through all generations of time and throughout all eternity. What is that? Then she'll say, the second token of the Melchizedek priesthood, the patriarchal grip or sure sign of the name. Has it a name? It has. Will you give it to me? I will through the veil. And then she'll repeat, health and enable. But most Mormons can't remember that. They watch my show, so now they can remember it.
When you're at the veil and we're doing this, if this were really happening, would the temple matron, I think that's what they're called, whatever, would she be helping me along if I
Yes.
did not remember it?
Yes.
Because I'm sure
they don't remember it.
Okay.
They don't remember it. And there's some unusual. You get people in a wheelchair. You'll get people with no arms. You know, like, I don't know, you grab them by the ear. You know, you have handicapped people, and so we try to accommodate them. But I'm trying to think how many. I never took a black person through the veil.
Really?
Never. And all the years that I worked in Los Angeles.
Wow.
I never took them, and I probably only took one or two brown people, mostly in California, from Mexicans jumping over the border. But anyway, that's how it goes, and it was discontinued. The penalties, slitting your neck, cutting your heart out, cutting your guts out, that was taken out in the late 90s, and the 5 points of fellowship has been taken out, and I was told by the temple president in Los Angeles that it was taken out because the women didn't like that and felt that it was inappropriate. Yes?
Can I use your charger real quick? I'm using your phone for...
Yes. There's one of the little kangaroos there. You know, this one's out of bed, and I say yes because I don't want people to know how bad I can punish you. Get out of here. She's using the new cell phone. It speaks kangaroo too. So anyway, so in summary, Allison, you're from another state across the United States. You've come to Utah. You've had some interaction with the Mormons.
Yeah.
Hopefully, some's been positive.
Great people.
Okay, great. I would agree with you.
They're great people. Fantastic.
Yeah, I would agree with you that most of them are. I would
Yeah.
also disagree that their leadership is corrupt and uneventful as far as they take their money and their tithing, they don't account for it, whatever. And so anyway, you're right, the desert industries, everybody donates to desert industries, so they have no overhead. No overhead.
That was odd.
And then they sell their stuff for cash. Where does the cash go? They're a 501(c)(3) right into Monson's bank account. So anyway, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate you.
Well,
you
thank you for having me.
Well, you're very, very welcome. You could co-host
Hi,
anytime
fellow
you want.
Bardites, Bardies.
You want to say hi to your dog?
No.
Okay. Okay. I'll say hi. The dog's middle name is David.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
hey, I like you, little David. You're
I
cute.
just don't want to, for some reason, don't want to say his first name, but
Okay. Okay. Hey.
yes, the middle name is David after David.
All right. Well, thank you for your help, and I hope.
Can we do a pale ale?
Oh yeah, you want to do that one again?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do
All
that.
right.
So we go pay, lay, ale. Pay, lay, ale. Pay.
Oh God.
No. Pay, lay, ale. 3 times. Now, pay, lay, ale was in there for 100 years, 200 years. Once people began to think that was stupid, which we still think it's stupid. So now, back in the old days when they say pay, lay, ale, they would do it 3 times, and then the officiator would say, the interpretation of that is, oh God, hear the words of my mouth. Now, we were told this was the pure Adamic language. This is the language, pay, lay, ale, that Adam spoke in the Garden of Eden, but it's translated into modern English as, oh God, hear the words of my mouth. Now, in the true order of prayer, we don't say, pay, lay, ale, we go, oh God, hear the words of my mouth 3 times. And so...
pay me,
lay
me,
oh.
and ale me.
I could use more guests like this. So anyway, if you have any questions or you have any comments, just put them in the comments and questions. Allison and Mike will be here for a day or 2, and they can see your comments. And I hope people enjoyed it. Like I said, there's 212 countries that watch this show, and hundreds of languages, and hopefully people will see that Allison is just a regular kind of a person studying Mormonism and how the Mormon Church looks outside the bubble. So this bard's gone.